Disclaimer: this is a work of fiction created for entertainment purpose only, not affiliated with BTS or Big Hit Entertainment. Characters and storylines are fictional and for entertainment purpose only. If you are homophobic, then please just leave. Tigers Funny promote respect and kindness. University Campus Cafe. Jungkook sits quietly with his laptop while Taehyung drops into the seat across from him with his usual dramatic attire. Taehyung grinning. Jungkook, I need your help. Big help. Life-saving help. Jungkook raising an eyebrow, unimpressed. Last time you said that you just wanted me to cover your attendance in class. Taehyung pouts. No, no, this is different. This is about my reputation. Jungkook signs, closing laptop. Okay, spill it. Taehyung leaning in dramatically. I told everyone I have a boyfriend and now they want to meet him. Jungkook jogging on his coffee. You what? Taehyung smirking. Relax, Bunny. That's where you come in. Be my fake boyfriend. Jungkook blinking, completely lost. Why me? You could literally ask anyone else. Taehyung tilting head, teasing. Because you are believable. You look like someone who would actually put up with me. And also, leans closer, whispering, you are cute when you are annoyed. Jungkook blushing, stammering. Young, this is insane. I don't fake this. Taehyung grinning wider. If you do now, come on, quickly. What's the worst that could happen? Jungkook hesitates, then signs. Fine, but this is just pretending. Okay, nothing more. Taehyung smirks, eyes gleaming with mystery. Whatever you say, Bunny, but you better get ready. Leans close to Jungkook's ear, whispering huskily, because I don't do boring relationships, even fake ones. Jungkook face burning, stammering. Young Taehyung laughs loudly, ruffling Jungkook's hair. You are cute. This is going to be fun. Taehyung's family mansion evening. Jungkook nervously fixes his shirt as they stand in front of the big door. Jungkook whispers, frightening. Taehyung, this is a bad idea. I don't look like someone's boyfriend material. Taehyung smirks, leaning close. Relax, Bunny. You look perfect. Just hold my hand and act like you adore me. Jungkook purrs softly. You are enjoying this, are not you? Taehyung grins. Of course. Who wouldn't when my bunny is blushing so much already? Doors open. Taehyung's mother greets them warmly. Mrs. Kim smiling kindly. Taehyung and oh my, who is this handsome young man? Taehyung tightens his hold on Jungkook's hand. Mom, this is my boyfriend. Jungkook glances at Jungkook, teasing. He is shy, but he is mine. Jungkook nearly jogs pause politely. Nice to meet you, ma'am. Mrs. Kim beaming. Ego. So polite, Taehyung. You finally brought someone home. Come in, both of you. At the dinner table, the family asks questions. Mr. Kim, curious. So, Jungkook, how long have you been dating with him? Jungkook panics, stammers. Theon smoothly pressing, squeezing Jungkook's thighs under the table. Almost 6 months, right, Bunny? Smears at Jungkook's red face. Jungkook nods quickly, whispering, yes, 6 months. Mrs. Kim smiles fondly. You two look adorable together. Theon throws an arm around Jungkook's shoulder, putting him close. Told you, mom, he's the best thing that ever happened to me. Jungkook face on fire, whispering, Young, don't say that. Theon leans to his ear, whispering with a slow smile. Why not? It's true. Fake or not, I like calling you mine. Later after dinner in Seong's flat. Jungkook crossed his arms, pouting. You were way too much in there. Why did you keep touching me? Seong laughed softly, watching himself, because it felt natural, and because I love seeing you blush. Bunny Jungkook looks away quickly, heart racing. You are unbelievable. Taehyung leans closer, whispering against Jungkook's ear. Get used to it, sweetheart. This fake relationship is only beginning. Jungkook gulps hard, whispering back, I think you are going to drive me crazy, Young. Taehyung grins, brushing Jungkook's cheeks with his thumb. Good, that's exactly my plan. The evening felt strangely quiet as Jungkook pushed open the door to his apartment. His bag slid from his shoulder, hitting the floor with a dull thump. He could still feel the warmth of Taehyung's hand in his own palm earlier, and the way Taehyung's smile had looked when they waved goodbye to everyone at the party. But the goodbye hadn't lasted long. Because right now Taehyung was standing in Jungkook's living room, looking far too comfortable in his oversized hoodie as if it was his home too. Jungkook rubbed the back of his neck nervously. Jungkook muttered, You didn't even ask before following me home. Taehyung grins, tossing himself onto Jungkook's couch. Taehyung teasing, well, Petal, we are dating or not, we figure not. What kind of boyfriend doesn't walk you home and stay the night sometimes? Jungkook's ear turned red instantly. He opened his mouth to argue, but nothing came out. Taehyung's word felt too casual, too easy, like it was the most natural thing in the world for him to be there. Instead of fighting, Jungkook turned toward the kitchen. Jungkook softly. Do you want tea? Taehyung stretched out onto the couch like a cat. Taehyung. Only if you sit next to me while I drink it. By the time Jungkook returned with two mugs, his heartbeat was already unsteady. He sat carefully on the edge of the couch, leaving some space. But Taehyung noticed. He always noticed. Without hesitation, Taehyung slid closer, his thighs pressing against Jungkook's. Jungkook tensed fingers gripping the mug tightly. Taehyung smirking. Relax, brother, it's just me. Jungkook whispering. That's the problem. Taehyung tilted his head, clearly amused. He reached out, brushing his thumb against the corner of Jungkook's mouth where a drop of tea lingered. Jungkook froze. Jungkook trembling. Young Taehyung, low voice, leaning closer. Don't look at me like that. You will make me forget this is supposed to be fake. For a moment, the air between them grew heavy, charged with unspoken feelings. Taehyung's face was close enough that Jungkook could feel his breath. Jungkook's chest tightened. He didn't know whether to move back or close the distance. Finally, Jungkook broke the eye contact, clutching his mug tighter. Jungkook mumbling, "We should probably set some boundaries if we were gonna keep this up." Taehyung chuckled, leaning back but never removing his hand from Jungkook's thighs. Taehyung, boundaries, federal boundaries are boring. Couples don't have boundaries. Jungkook's heart skipped a beat at the words couple. He told himself it was fake, but his body wasn't listening. Later that night, Jungkook tried to distract himself by changing into his sleep clothes. When he stepped out of his room, Taehyung was sprawled across his bed instead of the couch. Jungkook flustered. Yeah, why are you on my bed? Taehyung grinning. Because girlfriends share beds. Don't worry, I won't cross a line unless you ask me to. Jungkook threw a pillow at him, but his face was bright red. Still, when Taehyung patted the space next to him, Jungkook hesitated only a second before climbing in. He told himself it was fine. Just fake dating, just acting. The room felt quiet except for the sound of their breathing. Jungkook lay stiffly staring at the ceiling while Taehyung slowly shifted closer until his arm wrapped over Jungkook's waist. Jungkook gasping softly. Young Theon whispering into his ear, "You are too warm, Battle. Don't run away. Just let me hold you." Jungkook's resistance fronted at the tenderness in Theon's voice. He let out a shaky breath and allowed himself to relax against him. Theon's chest pressed against his back, strong and steady, and Jungkook's heart thumped wildly. Minutes passed, silence wrapping them in something softer than either expected. Then Theon's lips brushed slightly against the shell of Jungkook's ear. Jungkook shivered, his body betrayed him. Theon husky voice. "You are trembling. Do I make you nervous?" Jungkook whispered embarrassed. "Stop teasing." But Theon didn't stop. His fingers trailed slowly down Jungkook's arm to his hand, interlacing their fingers. His simple intimacy of it made Jungkook's teeth hitched. When Theon finally pressed a soft kiss against his jaw, Jungkook's self-control slipped. He turned his head, their lips brushed his fur with heartbeat. They hovered there. Not quite a kiss, not quite apart. Theon murmuring, "Can I?" Jungkook didn't answer with words. Instead, he leaned forward, closing the gap. The kiss was tentative at first, then deeper, hungrier, years of tension spilling out in one heated moment. Jungkook's finger curled into Theon's body, pulling him closer. Theon groaned softly into the kiss, his hand sliding up to cup. Jungkook's cheeks, the kiss grew messy, desperate, until Jungkook pulled away breathlessly, face flushed. Jungkook panting, "This isn't fake anymore, Young." Theon smiled, brushing his thumb over Jungkook's swollen lips. Theon softly, "Good, because I never wanted it to be." Jungkook's eyes widened, his chest rounded with something he couldn't name. Not yet. All he knew was that the lines between fake and real had blurred beyond repair, and somewhere deep inside he didn't mind at all. The apartment was dimly lit, shadows dancing on the walls as Jungkook sat nervously on Theon's bed. His heart still hadn't calmed since the kiss they had shared the night before, the kiss that changed everything, the kiss that stripped away the word fake from their story. Now the air between them was thick, heavy with something Jungkook couldn't escape. Theon leaned against the doorway, eyes fixed on him in the way that made Jungkook's skin burn. "Theon, why are you sitting so far from me, Cookie?" Theon's deep voice carried a teasing edge as he stepped closer. Jungkook swallowed, clutching at the bedsheet. "I'm not. I just..." Before he could finish, Taehyung was in front of him, his hand gently cupping Jungkook's chin, tilting his face up. "Taehyung, you confessed you love me, remember?" Taehyung whispered, his lips brushing against Jungkook's. "So don't run now." Jungkook breathed, his body melting under that low, husky tone. "Taehyung." "Jungkook, I'm not running, Young," he whispered, his voice trembling. "I just don't know how to stop wanting you." That was all it took. Taehyung's expression to his hungry, demanding, unlike their sweet kiss from before. This one burned tears, clashing, tongues tangling, with both desperate to prove their need. Jungkook whimpers into his mouth, clutching Taehyung's shirt as the order pressed him down onto the bed. Taehyung called Cookie. Taehyung groaned as he drilled hot kisses down Jungkook's jaws to his throat. You don't even know what you do to me. Jungkook arched when Taehyung's lips found the sensitive skin of his snap. Hard enough to leave marks, his thighs trembled when Taehyung's hand slid under his shirt, piercing the smooth skin of his wrist. Jungkook, young Jungkook, his voice broken nearly. Taehyung, say it again. Taehyung demanded softly, his hand exploring further his body, brushing against Jungkook's hair. Jungkook, young, please. Jungkook whimpers, shivering under his touch. Taehyung smiled against his skin, pressing kisses lower down to Jungkook's chest. He lifted the shirt off him completely, revealing fresh skin that glistened under the low light. Jungkook's breath came in shaky gasps as Taehyung kissed his own way, his hands roaming possessively. Every touch, every kiss felt like a promise, no longer fake, no longer part of a deal. This was real, this was love. When Jungkook finally gave in completely, when their bodies tangled under the sheet and the air filled with breathless moan and Whimper's name, both of them knew this wasn't about playing lovers anymore, it was about being lovers. And when it was over, Jungkook lay pressed against Taehyung's chest, his skin damp with sweat, his heart racing wildly. Taehyung grabbed him into a strong arm, kissing the top of his head softly. Taehyung, not pretending ever again, Cookie, he whispered against his ear. Jungkook closed his eyes, smiling. Never again, Young. The morning after was strangely peaceful. Sunlight spilled through the curtains, warming Jungkook's bare shoulder as he stayed awake. He blinked, realizing he was still tucked securely in Taehyung's arm. The older man was awake already, quickly watching him with a soft smile. Jungkook, you are staring again. Jungkook mumbled, his cheeks pink. Taehyung chuckled, leaning down to brush his lips against Jungkook's forehead. I am a lord. You are mine now. The words made Jungkook's heart flutter. He hid his face in Taehyung's chest, embarrassed but glowing inside. Later that day, both of them sat nervously at Taehyung's family dinner. What was supposed to be a small gathering turned into an interrogation the second his mother noticed the way Taehyung held Jungkook's hand under the table. Mrs. Kim. Taehyung, she raised an eyebrow. Are you two really just pretending? Jungkook froze, panic flashing in his eyes, but Taehyung only smirked. He squeezed Jungkook's hand tighter and without hesitation answered, no, he is not my fake boyfriend, he is my real one. Gas filled the table. Jungkook stared and read, but when he dared to glance at Taehyung, the older's eyes held nothing but certainty. Jungkook, you mean it? Jungkook whispered once they were alone again, his voice trembling. Taehyung, cupping his cheeks tenderly, pressing their forehead together. Of course, I have never been more sure about anything in my life. That night, back in Taehyung's bedroom, Jungkook sat cross-legged on the bed, still stunned by how boldly Taehyung had declared their love in front of everyone. His chest was warm, his heart racing whenever he thought about it. Taehyung walked in holding something small in his hand, his expression softer than ever. He knelt down in front of Jungkook, taking his hand. Taehyung, funny, he began, his voice low but steady. What started as a silly act, this fake dating, turned into the most real thing I have ever had. You made me believe in love in us, and I don't ever want to let you go. Jungkook's eyes widened as Taehyung revealed a silver band resting in his palm. Taehyung, will you marry me? Please. Jungkook breathed, his tears instantly putting his eyes. His lips trembled as he threw himself into Taehyung's arm, hugging him tightly. Jungkook, yes, Taehyung, yes. He cried, his chest, his voice breaking with happiness. Taehyung laughed through his own tears, sliding the ring on Jungkook's fingers, pressing kiss him before kissing him deeply. The kiss wasn't rushed, wasn't desperate like before. It was slow, full of devotion, sealing the promise for forever. They pulled back only when breathless foreheads pressed together, smiles wide. Taehyung, no more fake love. Taehyung whispered, kissing his hand. Jungkook, only real hearts. Jungkook replied softly, his voice glowing with certainty. And with that, their story, which began as pretend, turned into a forever they never imagined but always needed. The end.